All right, hey, welcome everybody to the seventh historic edition of fucking Hangar 18. Get your horns out because it's time to listen to some people talk about some heavy fucking metal. Welcome to our Fortress Tall. Take some time. We'll show you around the fucking Hangar 18. By that I mean we'll fucking talk about some, bullshit. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So anyway, the first segment that we do is heavy metal news. And this week, I'm going to go ahead and be gracious and let Dreadwind go first, just in case he and I chose the same thing, quote, unquote, in the air. Because
quote, unquote, right.
Quote, unquote, in the air. But we'll go ahead and see what he's got. And then if I like it, I'll just go ahead and, ex post facto fucking steal it anyway.
It's a slow week, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So go ahead, there. Go ahead.
I can see right through you sometimes. I'm going to start off just by I've been meaning to mention this because every time I go back and listen to these broadcasts, I realize that for some reason I sound like a coke addict. But I don't. That's the thing. I don't sniff. I'm just breathing normally, but apparently my microphone is super sensitive next to my nose, and just breathing in normally makes it sound like I'm all the time. So it's
they're snow blind.
That's Springer, man. It's not me. Okay, so yeah, my news is Dream Theater is about to embark on a 25th anniversary tour of their Images and Words album, where they're going to be playing the entire album live in concert, which seems to be a thing right now. I know Steve Vai was doing that recently also with his anniversary tour of Passion and Warfare, where they're playing the whole album. And right now, I think they only have European dates, but I'm sure they'll probably add some U.S. dates in there eventually. So there you go.
All right. Yeah, that's my news too. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, my news is Creator. They got a new song that's called Gods of Violence, and I'm a fucking huge Creator fan mainly because they're fucking badass, right? And this song, Gods of Violence, it's epic. I mean, for a thrash song, it's just huge. It's gigantic. It's violent. It's hit you in the face. It's fucking awesome. That's one of the things I want to talk about for my heavy metal news. The second one, and this is one of the bands we're going to be reviewing today, Lamb of God released a single called The Duke, right? And
Is it about Duke. John Wayne?
No, it's not about John Wayne, but although I get where you're coming from there. But a lot of people are shitting all over it because it's not typical Lamb of God, because he's not doing his standard voice that he does there, Randy. And you know what? Fuck those people, because the song is about a cancer survivor. Right? Or not? I guess not a cancer survivor, a guy that died of cancer. They're dedicating this song to a guy, who was battling cancer. And for people to come in there, even if you don't know what it's about, maybe you need some fucking research first, because if a band like Lamb of God tones it down a little bit and does a song that's not quite as cranked up as normal, there might be a reason behind that, So anyway, The Duke, it's out. You can find it on YouTube. It used to be a special select YouTube audience video where you could only get it if you were in certain groups. I got it, and it's fucking awesome. So check it out, Duke, and also Gods of Violence by Creator. Fucking yeah. So yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Oh, and also apparently there's some band I don't know if you've heard of these guys or not, but apparently they have a new album out today. I think it's a band called Metallica.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Hardwired, right?
Obscure band out of California. Apparently, yeah, they have a new album coming out.
And we're going to be doing a review of a Metallica song here today too. So there you go. And next week we're going to review the whole fucking album, this new one.
There you go.
So what a fucking perfect segue. Or as a buddy of mine called it, a segue.
Segue?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. He's the same person he's the same person that was talking about internet memes. All right, moving on to our first song. and it is by one of my favorite bands, Lamb of God. And the song is called "Now You've Got Something to Die For." And this was at the Donington Park Download Festival that they did this. And first of all, if you've never seen Lamb of God, even on YouTube, you just got to see them because they have, like, in my opinion, one of the best stage presences ever. They just fucking own the stage, especially Randy. He's just like, he's all over the place. He's jumping around. He's interacting with the crowd. And right off the rip, you know, when he goes, "Now you got something," and he fucking holds the mic out, instantly everybody sings "To Die For."
Yep.
The whole band, they're doing their synchronized head banging, which, you know, that's trickier than it looks. God damn it! All right, so they're doing their synchronized head banging, and you know, Randy's wearing a Sam Hain shirt, which, you know, kudos for that right there.
That's your
There's
point.
yeah, there's crowd surfing all over the place. And it looks like a couple of the people that were crowd surfing, even like in the video that we're talking about here, did not get to the front. It did not get the, you know, the nice easy letdown by security into the little row there between the crowd and the band. They just kind of like got unceremoniously dumped.
Yeah, the buffer zone, I call that. I don't know. If
Yeah.
It,
so one of my favorite parts of the entire video is where he goes, "I see that fucking flag, wave it high, motherfucker." And he's talking about the stars and bars, which I thought was weird because they're in England.
I was going to mention that this one, and I think later on when we do Sabbath,
yep, there's another one
for them too.
Yep. So
I saw the big Confederate flag flying. I'm like, you know, I thought it was cool, but it's like, what's that doing in England?
So yeah, they're first off, you know, Lamb of God. They're not a huge band. Like, I wouldn't put them on like the level of, say, Anthrax even. You know, maybe a little bit below that, but I mean, still, they were fucking owning it, and they're not in the United States. So, and I think Lamb of God is from Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, for them to be, you know, get that kind of participation that far away from home, that's, you know, saying something about how good a band is. I really like it. I love Lamb of God live. I go to motherfucking 9.
Awesome.
Dreadwind, go ahead.
Did you hear that story when he got arrested in Europe? I forget which country it was now.
Yeah. Well, I've heard of the story of him getting arrested. Yes.
Yeah, and
I guess somebody died at one of his shows. They're going to try and hold him responsible for it.
Yeah, this was a while back. I'd seen something on TV about it, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. They were on stage, and somebody died at the concert. I don't remember exactly what happened now. But they were trying to hold him responsible. I think because he got on stage, the guy got on stage, and apparently Randy just kind of like put a hand on him to help push him off the stage, like you do when people jump off the stage.
Right.
And apparently when he jumped off the stage, he hit his head on something. And they called paramedics. The show never stopped. They didn't know that he was hurt. The paramedics came after the show, apparently. And anyway, the dude ended up dying. And they were trying to hold him responsible, and they had a big trial and everything, and it was in Europe. Yeah, it was kind of
fucking vindicated, though.
Yeah, he got off on it, but it was pretty messed up at the time.
Fucking A. I mean, he's like an icon in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's on to the show. Yeah, I agree with you. The I've seen, out of the 10 bands that we're doing today, I have seen 6 of them personally live. So this is one of them. I did see them open for Metallica one time, and they were great then. The flags were kind of, I was going to mention that with the flags. It wasn't just that flag. They had a bunch of flags flying. They had like all kinds of, like the Swedish flag and all kinds of shit going, but that was kind of funny. Their drummer, Chris Adler, is a monster drummer. Is that his name? Chris?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah. He did the drums on the latest Megadeth album, and it's superb. The band in general was just tight as hell. I mean, the guitars are just on point all the way through. The whole band's tight, full of energy. Like you said, Randy's up on stage doing his thing. And as much energy as he has, and as much as he's jumping around, he never seems to run out of breath.
Never. That's true. He's like, he'll jump up on that big stack of speakers, and just belt it out like nothing ever happened,
Yeah, and a lot of guys, which we're going to get to in a minute, can't do that. So, props to him for having the energy and the lung capacity to still pull out stuff off and all. I like Lamb of God. They're not one of my favorite bands, but I can recognize a good performance when I see one, and this was a damn good performance. I give this one a 9 also.
9. I was just gonna say, just looking it up here, that court case was in the Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, that was it. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure.
2010, and it was a 19-year-old fan sustained head injuries leading to a coma and subsequent death.
Right, right.
So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate when shit like that happens. But I mean, you go to a heavy metal show and you stage dive and shit like that. I mean, unfortunate things are going to happen now and then. And
Yeah.
with the amount of shit that goes on at concerts that I've seen, I'm surprised a lot more people.
Yeah, this is true. Especially with the way some people could call moshing these days,
right?
Which is a whole nother topic.
Moshing used to be slam dancing. Now it's punch and kick.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, and Randy Blythe is 45 years old, so that's pretty impressive for a dude that's that old to be as energetic as he is. And motherfucker, I'm guessing he probably can eat like 1,000 Snickers bars a day and never gain an ounce.
Probably he's got some, super high metabolism rate.
Got to. All right. So moving on to our next song. It's by, well, I guess the band's now called Rob Zombie, but the song was originally in the White Zombie era and was off their second big album, I guess I should say. I mean, they've had albums before, Los Exorcisto, but After Creep was their second major release, and this one, More Human Than Human, from what I understand, like Rob had wanted a certain guitar sound for a long time, and he looked around for it quite a bit, and then he finally heard that slide, and he thought it was great. So that's kind of where the genesis of the song came from. This was at Rock Ring or Rock AM Ring. I don't know what the fuck it's Rock Ring, I think. Anyway, in 2014. Anyway, it's like More Human Than Human is one of those songs. Like as soon as they start playing any part of it, like you immediately know it's gonna happen. And for a metalhead like me, as soon as they start playing shit like that, fucking just chill goes down my spine because I know it's coming, right? And he starts saying, can you feel it? Start jumping, and fucking crowd gets way into it. Their stage set is awesome. They have like the classic movie monsters, like the big posters of them. And then they got like the big words. It's like fucking slaughter, kill, maim underneath there and shit. It's fucking awesome. And not Piggy D, but John 5 is walking around with this like weird gimp mask.
Yeah.
He's got like these fucking like it's like this leather gimp mask. And he's got like these rings around his mouth. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on with that? And I'm guessing he can do stuff like that because first off, I think in my opinion, John 5 is an amazing guitar
He
player.
is.
And from what I understand, White Zombie guitar is not that difficult to play.
No, especially that song. There's not much.
He could probably take his concentration off of playing a little bit because it's so amazing. And then
I was gonna mention that actually that's part of my notes. John 5 is a beast of a guitar player, and there's not much to this song as far as the guitar goes. It's just a little slide part, and then the gent.
Right, and then Piggy D's got his spike guitar, which I thought was quite awesome, and I don't know what the fuck I got wrote down here. It looks like Rob's out on Jimmy Dean's farms, and I'm not sure what that's fucking all about. So that's probably some bullshit. I have no idea what the fuck that is. So maybe something about fans, but I don't fucking know. Anyway, I gave it an 8.5, despite my shitty handwriting that I now can't read. You should see, one of these days I'll take a picture of like my note card and be like, how in the fuck does he read any of that? Because it's like, it just looked like you gave some meth to a fucking chimpanzee and then pencil and said, go to work. Anyway, 8.5, More Human Than Human. Go ahead.
8.5. Okay, you're better score than what I'm gonna have. Again, John 5 is a beast, and there's not much to this song as far as the guitar goes. So, like I was gonna say, he could probably play this song like literally in his sleep behind his back while eating a steak. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw. Just to break you up real quick. One time I saw him, and he had a guitar that was like light up, like the whole fucking guitar lit up green.
Yeah, it's got like this liquid in it, and it moves and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the one.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. He's
All right, I'll shut up now. Go ahead.
if you ever listen to some of his solo stuff, it's not as heavy as some of this other stuff, and it's a lot of it's very very technical guitar wanking stuff. But that's where he really shows off how he can play, and I could probably send you a link to a song or two that is just like wow, really kind of blow your mind. It's nothing like what he plays in the Rob Zombie band, and actually half of Rob's band right now is like ex Manson
Right. Yep.
band because
Yeah,
the
yeah. There's a whole
drummer.
big feud there too.
Yeah, so there's that going on. But anyway, as far as this particular performance goes, the stage visuals, like you said, are awesome. The stage is great. Uh, I thought it was cool how Rob kind of like literally got into the crowd, to really get the crowd going. And he's like
No, that's
almost
what
like
it says. Rob out in
standing on
front
him.
with the crowd. That's Rob out in
Yeah,
front with fans. That's what I apparently thought was Rob out with Jimmy Dean sausage. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So he got out in the crowd, which is really cool. The only problem I had with this performance was for some reason, and I don't know if it was actually like that live or if it was just the recording of it, but the actual band themselves, the music, the volume was a lot lower than any of the other ones that we listened to.
Yep. Audio is
Um,
shitty. Yep.
yeah, and but Rob's vocals were much higher than the music, so it I'm not sure if that was just a bad mix transition to the video or if it was actually like that live.
I bet you it was a bad mix.
And then I've never the band sounded good, but I've never seen Rob Zombie live, and one of the reasons is because every time I see him live, like on TV or in a video, he always sounds like this. He sounds like he's out of breath, and he can't finish a line in a song because it sounds like he's just out of breath and he can't get it out. And
I have a theory of why that may be.
go ahead.
My theory is that the songs that you've heard him do live are the late in the set songs, like Thunder Kiss, which is usually like one of the last songs, and More Human Than Human in this case, which is usually one of the last.
I've seen him do it on an award show where it was literally the
only song
that they played, and it was the same thing. Now for that one, I remember he was like running across the stage back and forth, left and right. Maybe that had something to do with it, but he just always seems to be out of breath to me, and I'm afraid to actually go to a Rob Zombie show and have the whole concert end up being that way and being disappointed.
Well, I can tell you this. I've seen Rob Zombie. I think I've seen Rob Zombie like 4 times, I believe. I think I've seen White Zombie twice, and I was never disappointed. I mean, First off, when John 5 was playing his big solo, they had big, giant, like 10-foot tall rotating pentagrams up on the screens.
Cool.
So, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, well, again, the band sounded great. It was just Rob's performance. I was kind of disappointed with his performance because it didn't come out good. I gave it a 6.5.
Rock. All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. You're fucking free to think your own wrong opinions. All right. All right. So, and just a little disclaimer here: all these bands that I picked today, and all the songs I picked, obviously they're like greatest hits type stuff. I mean, because we want to review the live performance aspect as opposed to the actual song. So that's why they're all like really good bands, really good songs. And if you don't think they're really good bands, really good songs, I'll fucking come into your house and revoking your fucking metal card.
This was a great list and great song.
Thank you. All right. So there's one person that agrees with me. That's all that matters. All right. So next band, Machine Head. The song was called Davidian off the debut album, Burn My Eyes. Fucking amazing song, man. Amazing band. They're playing it here at Wacken in 2009, right? And the very first thing he says, he goes, "How are all the drunken motherfuckers over here doing?" Which I thought was fucking amazing. I've seen Machine Head a couple of times. Every time I see them, they have great crowd participation. I mean, amazing crowd participation. They're super tight, I don't know, they're on point with everything they do. When he starts doing the A part, when he goes, "Get your goddamn fists in the air," the A part in the very beginning is fucking amazing. You got Phil Dimmel, and he's walking around with the fucking polka dot V, right? AKA looked like Randy Rhoads type guitar.
Yeah,
I thought was kind of cool. He gave a shout out to Testament, which is fucking awesome. The mosh pit was what's the word I'm looking for? Fucking gigantic. I mean, enormous mosh pit, and he even goes, "We're trying to make the biggest circle pit and whack in history," and they might have done it because it was
They might have.
huge.
I saw that.
Yeah. So the one part where they slow down and he goes, "Head bang, motherfucker." That part, he does that every single show. I can attest to that. It's fucking awesome. The Let Freedom Ring with the shotgun blast. It's always amusing to me to hear like people with foreign accents singing that chorus part.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the very end where he did the light up cheer and he fucking lit it up one time and they like didn't do anything. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And then he did it again and they got all excited. Then he was all happy about it. I thought it was fucking great. I love Machine Head. I love this song. I love this performance. 9.5. Fucking amazing. Dreadwood Gay.
Awesome. I like Machine Head. This isn't my favorite song by them. I think my favorite song is probably.
That's wrong. It is your favorite song.
Imperium.
Nope,
is probably
wrong.
My favorite.
It's the video.
And but I do like this one, and their crowd interaction was great, back and forth. The whole band had good energy all the way around. The song is brutal, and the performance was equally brutal. I don't have much else to say about it other than my only real knock on it was, for some reason, the cymbals sounded like they were really high in the mix. Like the drums themselves were okay, but every time you went to hit the cymbals, they were just really, really loud compared to the rest of the drum set. That's nitpicking though. Overall, I give it an 8.5. It was a great performance.
All right. It's like the last Machine Head show I went to, right? I was like in the very front. In fact, if you go to their website and you look at their concert pictures, you can see me in the front, right? I mean, I'm not like huge, but they always go at the end of their shows when they're doing this, like, I think it's called like 2.5 hours with Machine Head, or an evening with Machine Head is what it's called, their tour. Anyway, they stand up in the front and they take a picture of them with all the crowd behind them. You can see me in there. I'm wearing a little wife beater and everything. I got the horns up. So just kind of saying how awesome I am, right? But anyway, like they had the lighting at the show was such that like for like a half hour afterwards, I kept seeing like the after effects of the light in my field of vision. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty awesome. You can go deaf and blind at heavy metal shows. Just so you know. All right. Brutal. So yeah. So next band is Pantera, and the song was called "Cowboys from Hell," and that's actually one of the names people call Pantera is the Cowboys from Hell. That has spawned a million fucking CFH fucking tattoos all over the world. This is from Moscow in '91, and my very first note is fuckload of people, because Jesus Christ, there was a bunch of people there.
If I'm not mistaken, this was like the first big concert that they had in Moscow when they had opened up the borders or whatever.
It might have been, because I mean there had to have been 100,000 people there. Had to have been.
Yeah, I seem to remember the footage with all the soldiers and everything. It was the first time they had let outside bands come into Moscow or Russia and do a big concert. So it was kind of a big deal at the time. And I'm
sure. And also in my notes I have the police/military looks scared.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like they like pan to a shot of these cops or whatever, and the cops are like, I don't know what we're gonna do if they decide to do something, because there's fucking 1,000 of them to every one of us. So
yeah.
Philly's got this. For some reason, he's got this mask that he's wearing. Like he hasn't got it on over his face, but he's got it on his head.
Yeah,
I thought that was weird. The whole video is shot in black and white. And my favorite part about it, and I have this on one of their single CDs. This song, I have it on audio, and it comes up on my MP3 player when I'm at the gym. And my favorite part is he goes, "What I want to hear right now is people in Moscow, hey, come on, do it." I fucking love that part. Like in the very beginning, it's fucking amazing. And Dimebag, in the middle of all these people, in the middle of all this yelling live, he just fucking perfect solo, just perfect. And that doesn't surprise me, because Dimebag's fucking awesome. R.I.P. Dime. Go ahead, Dreadwin. I give it a 9.8.
Yeah, Dime is a legend, and he even added some guitar bits that aren't in the original song. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did a little bit. I mean, I'm not quite as guitar savvy as you are, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a little added bits here and there, little fills that he adds in, which I thought was pretty cool, and it sounds great. He's on point. The whole band's tight. Phil is one of Phil's strong performances. I know back in the day he was kind of hit or miss back then. But this was a good one from him. He did seem out of breath here and there every once in a while, but I guess that's understandable. Overall, though, it was a great performance. This is one of the bands I wish I could have seen live. I never got a chance to see these guys play live. I give it a 9.
9 and 9. All right. Okay. So our next, hey, you finally got one right. Just saying. All right. Our next band is, like you said, a little known obscure band from Bay Area, Metallica. And this is their song "Creeping Death." It's an amazing song from an amazing album. Mm-hmm. And this is from San Diego, 1992, and this is from the Live Shit Binge and Purge box set or whatever. And to me, this is Metallica at their peak. Right?
Yes.
Like right after the Black Album, I'm not necessarily so much a fan of the Black Album, but right after the Black Album, when they still had the long hair and they still did the long sets and they didn't have like the pre-recorded openings to some of their songs, and they had the great crowd interaction. I mean, this is to me the pinnacle of Metallica, right?
Performance-wise, yes.
Yeah, and live. Not CD-wise, of course.
Right.
First where it's at, right? So one of my favorite parts is when he does that fucking pause. And then he does the laugh that he does. I love that. It's fucking amazing. He has the crowd singing like right off the rip, and everybody, of course, goes fucking bonkers because they know the song. Kirk's doing his solo, and the whole time he's doing his solo, he's got the middle finger out, which I thought was pretty good and amazing. You got Jason. He's fucking trotting around, like especially the part that sounds kind of like horse meat or horse hooves. He's just like doing a little circle dance or whatever the fuck, which I thought was pretty awesome. And then you got Jason on backup vocals later. Mm-hmm. And the crowd is, of course, doing the Die, Die, Die part, which is part of the reason why I chose this song, because that's pretty iconic, the Die, Die, Die part for Creeping Death. I give it a 9.0 because it's fucking Metallica, it's Creeping Death, it's amazing, Dreadwing go.
Yeah, I agree with you that from a performance standpoint, their live shows, this was their peak. They were at the pinnacle. I actually like the Black Album. But I don't think it's their best album. I think their best album is Master of Puppets.
I was gonna say it's Puppets.
Yeah, it's got to be Puppets. Anything else is wrong. But as far as their performance go, they were on top of their game, and they toured for like 2.5 years straight or some crazy shit like that.
That's what it was. Yep.
Yeah. So they had to be good.
I think they called that the Nowhere Left to Roam tour.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. They just had energy all around. The band itself sounded good because the mix was good. No one instrument was too higher than the other one. It was a good mix. The band was tight. Great crowd interaction all the way around. Good back and forth with the audience between James and like you said, the Die, Die, Die part. Jason's a maniac on stage. Kirk even nails the solos. This is when you try to do a live performance, this is what you aspire to right here. This is the type of performance that you try to achieve. It's a fucking 10.
Nice. 10 from Dreadwing. That's pretty rare. All right. So moving on. And again, I'll go ahead and put a disclaimer out here before we even do this one. I'm a gigantic Sab head. So there you go. Black Sabbath, War Pigs. And War Pigs, probably one of my favorite songs by Black Sabbath and off of one of my favorite Black Sabbath CDs. This is at Ozfest at Download, right? And first off, at this point, the band was 37 years old. Okay? That's pretty impressive in and of itself. Not saying the members are 37 years old. The band, as an organized band, fucking 37 years old. Mm-hmm. Time of this, right? Ozzy walks out, immediately takes charge of the crowd. Immediately. Yep. And to me, Ozzy is always like the flamboyant counterpart to Tony Iommi, where Tony's like, he's got his black jacket on, he's got his his cross, he's reserved, he doesn't move around too much, and you got Ozzy's jumping around. As soon as they hit that air raid siren, chill goes down my spine. I know I already said that, but fucking I'm saying it again because you know it's coming, right? Yeah. I mean, it's War Pigs. So. Yeah, I already said something about his leather jacket. He always wears that fucking leather jacket, or he must have like 100 of them. He probably has 100 of them. The hand clap part I thought was amazing. They always do that. The crowd singing was amazing. Geezer's over there, like just going to town with his fingers. Like they
Yep.
keep showing, close-ups on Geezer's fingers, and the man is, he's got to be, at this point, 65, 67 years old in that range,
Mm-hmm.
just going nuts on that bass. Ozzy does his signature monkey hop, as my wife calls it.
I call it a frog hop. It looks more.
And he moves the crowd, which I thought was pretty good. And here we go again. There was another Confederate flag in the crowd, and they had a Jolly Roger flying around.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I don't know if you saw it, but there was a stuffed goat that they were passing around.
I missed that. I have to go back
there was
and
a stuffed goat. It was probably maybe 2 to 3 foot long stuffed goat, and they were just tossing it around, which I thought was pretty funny. This is Black Sabbath, and yes, I'm fucking biased, but I give this one a 10 because it's fucking awesome. War Pigs. Go, Dread.
It's Black fucking Sabbath, man.
Right.
Yeah, they always have lots of fun on stage, which is you can, that helps feed the energy when you can see the band having a good time, the crowd start to have a good time, and it just kind of goes back and forth, and it feeds the performance. Ozzy's always been a great frontman. Geezer on bass guitar, he set the standard for what a bass guitar should be in a heavy metal, and I think we talked about this off air at one point, but Geezer didn't play bass before he joined Black Sabbath. He was a guitar player, and it may not seem like, a guitar player, bass has got 4 less strings, so it's easier. No, it's a completely different mentality to play bass, especially the way he plays it. You don't just mimic the guitar with it. You actually play a bass line that locks in with the drums to do it properly, and he does it
rhythm section
so flawlessly and effortlessly. It's amazing how much influence he's had from somebody who never played that instrument prior to this band. It's awesome. But it's when I saw these guys live, I saw them at Ozfest, I want to say 04, I think. They opened with this song, and that air raid siren comes on, like you said. And as soon as the band, that first note kicks in, the doom, and the bass is just rumbling, you can feel it in your chest. I got goosebumps. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. It's an amazing experience. Yep. Yeah, amazing experience live. 10. It's Black fucking Sabbath.
Double 10.
Yes.
Fuck.
Absolutely.
All right. So now our next band is Dreadwin's favorite band of all time.
Slayer!
Fucking Slayer! All right. So anyway, Slayer was actually one of my favorite bands, playing War Ensemble at Rocket in 2014. When he does War Ensemble, he always does this, "Are you ready for war?" Right? Mm-hmm. And I saw basically the big 3 or the big 4 minus Metallica one time in concert at the LC Pavilion. And right before Tom said it, I fucking said, "I'm ready for war!" And like shitloads of people turned around and looked at me like I just fucking got off the crazy truck. And then he said it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, now I see where that guy's coming from." Like, what the fuck? What are you people even doing here? I was going berserk. I had shirt off, everything. Fuck it. And then my favorite part is in this particular instance when he says, "Are you ready for war?" just a big fucking glob of spit just comes right out of his mouth. So he looks like, and Tom has definitely taken on the appearance of an evil Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And definitely
he's aged.
Yeah, you definitely hear the Slayer chant going on, which that happens at every fucking Slayer show, the Slayer chant. Tom sounds angry as fuck throughout the entire song. Gary's got a V. It looks like it's just a white V, and it looks like he was just standing next to a butcher while a butcher's fucking chopping up a cow. It's just like blood splat. It's fucking amazing. And
it's
Gary,
awesome.
He's got another guitar. And I'm not sure what this style of guitar is, what it's called, but it looks like the normal style of guitar, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, this one, it's got like faces of demons just like popping out of it all over the place. This other guitar he's got, which is awesome. Kerry's got his big long going on.
He recently had a custom guitar made for him with the guy painted it with his blood.
Oh, nice!
Like literally, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty impressive.
It's a one-off guitar. It's not something that like, I'm gonna go buy one and have Gary Holt's blood. No, it's just the one guitar made for him. But yeah, it's.
I was gonna say he'd get awful lightheaded if it was mass manufactured.
Yeah, I know. It was just the one, but it's pretty cool.
So Kerry's got his log chains going on, and see, a lot of people give Kerry King shit, and everybody says Kerry King's an asshole, and they heap all kinds of scorn on Kerry King, and I don't get it because I'm a fan of Kerry King. You know what? He likes heavy metal. He likes Snakes. He's what the fuck.
All right.
So I mean, what's not to like? My favorite thing about Kerry King is when he's headbanging. He just has this like really funny look because he's chubby and bald. It just makes me laugh every time I see him headbang. And
Did you know he raises? Did you know he raises snakes?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was saying that he raises and he breeds them too, and he like tries to get like the most what's the word I'm looking for here? Like boisterous color pattern on them when he's breeding them. So yeah, I mean, and then they have like there's a spot in the video where there's like these jets that are shooting out fire. Okay, so what's wrong with that? You got Kerry King, Gary Holt, Lombardo, and Tom Araya on stage playing War Ensemble, and there's fucking fire. So what's not to like? I give it a 9.0. So yeah, that's me.
Sweet.
Don't fucking bring me down, Dread.
I remember seeing an interview with Kerry King, and he was talking about the snake breeding thing, and he said that it's funny because like there's a whole little community of snake breeders that he intermingles with the snake breeding, and like none of them know that he's in a band. They just know him from they just know, oh, that's Kerry, he's a snake breeder guy.
That's awesome.
He says it's kind of funny, but anyway,
that's like James Hetfield's hunting friends.
Yeah, right. So I got to see Slayer live. I've seen all four of the big four, not together but separately. And actually, it was at Ozfest I saw Slayer, and it was back when Jeff was still alive. So I did get to see them with Jeff. But Gary Holt is a great fit for the band.
Fucking A.
I think the band is tight. What I thought was funny was like when Tom first gets on. Like when it first starts, it's Slayer and it's Tom and it's War Ensemble, and he's like, "Hey guys, so how are y'all doing out there?"
Yeah, you're right.
Are y'all ready to listen to some more music?
He's way to go on Whack-In being here for 30 years.
Real soft spoken at first, and then War Ensemble, and then they kick in, and it's all rah. So yeah, I just thought that was funny. Slayer is not one of my favorite bands, not because I don't like them. I just never connected with them. I like some of their songs, but you get these bands, and some bands you connect with, and some bands you don't.
Yeah, I know.
And that's
you're wrong in this case, but okay.
That's how Slayer is for me. I just never connected with them. I respect the hell out of them for what they've done. I have their live double, I think, Decade of Aggression.
The Decade of Aggression, yep.
Yeah, I have that, and there's a couple songs I like, but they just never connected with me like some of the other bands did.
Is War Ensemble one of those songs?
But again, I think my favorites are probably South of Heaven and
Angel of Death.
No.
What the fuck?
Crap. It went right out of my head. Seasons in the Abyss.
That's a good song too.
Yeah, those are probably my two favorites. But I like this one. And once again, even though they're not my favorite band, I recognize a good performance when I see one. And this is a damn good performance. I give this one a 9.
9, 2 9. See that? You got 2 of them right. Actually, you got more than 2 of them right. You're on a roll. All right. Okay. Next song is another fucking iconic band. In fact, we have all 4 of the big 4 in this.
Yes, we do.
So another iconic band, Megadeth, of course. Megadeth with Mega Man. The song is called Peace Sells, and this is off of That One Night double CD. And I wish fucking Heavy Metal Rob was here, because Heavy Metal Rob's he's the one who gave me that CD. And by gave me, he let me rip it onto a flash drive.
Cool.
Yeah, so the whole fucking That One Night performance is amazing. Dave Mustaine speaks in Spanish at one point for like an extended period of time, which I didn't know he could do. Anyway, it's in Buenos Aires. Wait, that's in Brazil, right?
I think so.
Then maybe you speak in Portuguese. I don't fucking know. Anyway.
So Latin language.
Yeah, one of those Latin languages. First off, you got the clapping in the beginning and the bass opening, right? The bass opening, the Peace Sells. got to be one of the most iconic things ever in heavy metal, right? It's like the bass opening to Utility in Black. I mean, as soon as he starts playing that, you know instantly what's going on. Dave's got his super long wristbands that he always wears, which always amuses me because they go from like his wrist to his elbow, which always gets. And he has like this mic stand, and he's got like fucking 1,000 picks along this mic stand, and he's used one of them, which I thought was pretty funny. And they're doing Peace Cell, so it's got to be late in the set, probably close to the end, right?
Yeah.
So
a lot of times, I know a lot of times what they'll do is just wait till the end of the concert, and it's good to have. Yeah, it's good. It's good to have them in case you drop it in the middle of the concert. You have some extra ones, and then at the end they'll just take the rest of them off and throw them out.
He was like way prepared for dropping quite a few. I mean, I don't even think Helen Keller would drop that many fucking things. So anyway, first off, this has got Dave's squared version of Megadeth, which is my favorite version of Megadeth, right?
Wait, Dave squared?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You got Dave Ellefson on bass, right?
No, it's not.
It wasn't Dave Ellefson on bass?
No, it wasn't. It's well, what's his name? This was when Dave had left the band. This was actually right after Dave Mustaine's injury, and we thought Megadeth was going to be shut down for good. And then he came back from the injury because they didn't know he was going to play if he was going to play guitar again. Remember, he had injured his arm. Do you remember that?
I do remember he injured his arm, and I know that Dave left the band for a while and then came back.
Yeah, that was when Junior left. Was right after that. So this was James McDonough, I think is the guy's name. He used to be prior to joining Megadeth, he was a bass player in Iced Earth.
Did we watch the same video?
Yes, we did.
All right, I'll believe you. Fucking all right. Goddamn, I get my
goddamn. I can tell you the drummer and the guitar player too. Sean Drover and Glenn Drover.
Well, that I didn't know. That I wouldn't have known anyway. All right. Yeah. So anyway, speaking of the drummer, that drum kit was fucking enormous.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Huge drum kit. And, the whole crowd was singing, if there's a new way, I'll be the first in line for that part, which I always do, which is fucking amazing. I give it an 8.5. And go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So this is not their best lineup, because, of course, the best lineup is the Rust in Peace lineup.
They got Nick Menza in the Rust in Peace lineup?
Yeah, Nick Menza and Marty Friedman.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which is the lineup that I got to see, so just have to brag. But still, despite the lineup change, the band was really on it for this performance. I mean, they sounded great. They were very tight. The crowd was into it. I thought the tempo was just a tad fast for what the song normally runs, but they tend to do that live. The guitars are pretty smooth. There was a bit of feedback at one point, but but both guitars were pretty clear. You could hear them both well. And I forget now which. I think Glenn Drover was the guitar player, if I remember right. He's I always get them mixed up because they're brothers. But anyway, he did a good job with the solos, I thought. And like I said, this was just a couple years after his injury, because I remember he had injured his arm, and the band that's when Megadeth basically broke up, and that's when Junior left. And then I
want to say this is like 09, maybe somewhere around there.
No, it was 04, I think, or 03.
Really?
I looked it up.
Damn.
Yep.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
He injured his arm in 02, I think. And then this was only a couple years after that. I know this for a fact because he was playing an ESP guitar, and he was only with ESP for a little while. He went from Jackson. He left Jackson Guitars when the injury happened, and then when he came back into playing, he signed with ESP, and he was with ESP for like 2 or 3 years, and then he switched to Dean, which he's still with Dean Guitars right now.
I got you. So you said 04. I said 09. It was actually 05, so I'm close.
05.
There you go. I win.
Right. Okay. So anyway, but it was a good performance, a great song, and I really didn't have anything bad to say about it, other than I would like a different lineup. But again, these guys did a great job anyway. I give it a 9.5 because I thought it was fucking awesome.
9.5. All right. Okay. Next one in our final of the big four, Anthrax, Caught in a Mosh. Okay. This is one of those songs, again.
What is it?
It's Caught in a Mosh. And okay, for those of you who don't know, that's part of the lyrics of the song. That's the crowd participation part that we were just doing there.
All right, if you don't know that, just get the fuck off now.
Yeah, right. Just shut this off right here. So here you go. Anyway, again, Anthrax, Caught in a Mosh. It's one of those things that as soon as you hear that, instantly you know what's going to happen. It's going to be fucking chaos. The bass intro is amazing. They're in New Jersey, which I think that's right around where they come from. I know they come from New York or something, or New Jersey, one of those.
Yeah, they're from the New York, Jersey area. Yeah.
So, Scotty Ian's he did like this jump kick thing where he like jumped up with both legs, which I thought was amusing and funny. And for some reason, they have their names and numbers on the backs of their shirts during this whole thing, which I didn't know what the fuck that was all about. And just like Dreadwind just said, I have it right here. What is it in giant capital letters? Because they did that part, and of course they were caught in a mosh. That's right. So one thing I did notice I thought was kind of weird is Frank and Scott looked ripped as fuck in this video. I mean, they were muscular as shit. So I don't know what the hell that was all about. And Scott gets up there and he goes, "Jersey, I want to see you motherfuckers move." And it looked like a pretty small venue, but they still tore it the fuck up. And I think this was on their Alive 2 live DVD/album. And I give it a 9.0 because Anthrax, cool story about Anthrax, when they had the Anthrax scare where people were sending Anthrax around to various people like Tom Brokaw and stuff, they would go out on stage and they wear these shirts that said, "We are not changing our name." Because people are trying to get them to change their name because of the Anthrax scare. And they're like, "Fuck you, we're not changing our name because that's stupid."
I remember that. Anyway, yep.
9.0. Good.
Caught in a Mosh. I saw these guys recently, just maybe a month ago, and they were freaking awesome. It was a small club too, and they were great. The energy from this song, you can't capture it in a video. And you can watch the video and you can see that the crowd's into it and the band's into it. You can see that there's a lot of energy, but it is nothing compared to actually being there in person when they're playing this song live. And again, I say this a lot, but all of these bands are great bands and they've been doing it for a long time. So it's no surprise that the band is fucking tight when they're playing this stuff. You don't last this long as a band and have this much success unless you can fucking play live like these guys do.
Oh yeah, they've been around since like all the big four since like the early part of the 80s.
Oh yeah, well the first Metallica album was 83, right?
Yeah,
Kill 'Em All. Well, when Metallica recorded Kill 'Em All, they went to New York to record it, and they stayed with Anthrax in the same rehearsal space. So There you go. They're all they're
early
all
80s. Yeah.
Early buddies, yeah. But yeah, this song, great performance, great song, awesome energy all the way around. 9.5. It's fucking Anthrax. They're one of the big four.
Damn, I made some good choices apparently on this one.
Absolutely.
We went through some pretty high scores. I think if we average this out, it's probably like our highest scoring show. So anyway,
without a doubt.
All right, so the next band is War. And the song is Metal Land, which I love the song Metal Land because basically they're talking about like a world that's all heavy metal, which is fucking awesome. Who doesn't like a song about that? Anyway, they're in the Starland Ballroom 2013. The thing I thought was awesome is right off the rip, Otis gets out there and he dedicates the song to Flatus Maximus. Actually said Flatus motherfucking Maximus. That's what I thought was awesome. And he's got his big, like, giant fucking nylon cock hanging out, which I thought was pretty easy. So yeah, and like Guar's always got dancing slaves on the stage, right? But this guy who is the dancing slave on this guy was a fat fuck. He reminded me of an unmuscular Andre the Giant. Just dancing around. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Very short version of
yeah, right. Well, yeah, of course, obviously.
He wasn't very tall either. He was.
Yeah, right. So he's up there dancing around, which I thought was pretty funny. In this particular song, you got Beef. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it looked like he was even shorter than Beefcake, which is
yeah. I was gonna say, Beefcake. he's on his backup vocals, and you got Ballsack out there. He's killing it on the guitar, which I thought was fucking amazing. The only thing that kind of disappointed me about this particular video, this particular song, is I didn't see any of the standard Guar, like, squirting shit out onto the crowd, which they do all the time. Right. And that's not their fault. That's just because the song really doesn't call for it. And secondly, the camera angle kind of sucked. It was just like one stable shot coming in from the side. But that's not Guar's fault. So I thought they did a good job overall. I'm a huge Bohab, so I'm going to go 7.5 on this. Go ahead, good.
Okay. Yeah, the Gore, their stage visuals are always unique and something to see. It's
to say the least.
In and of itself. Like you said, there wasn't a lot of extra theatrics going on. It was just pretty much them up on stage, and then the guy doing the dancing thing, which was, yeah. The video, like you said, I was going to comment on that. It looked like a fan, just like a bootleg fan. Somebody in the audience was just shooting it on their cell phone or something. So it was, of all the ones we've had on this list today, this was the worst video and audio quality because of that. So it was kind of hard to actually hear them at times. And something kept cutting out. It sounded like one of the guitars kept cutting out on them. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, I'm guessing they don't have an army of techs like Metallica and Megadeth do.
Yeah, I guess not. But it was still, it was just kind of, I don't know. It was distracting. I'm sure the band usually sounds great. I haven't actually seen them live, but I've seen videos of them live, and they usually always sound great. They didn't sound as good as they usually do on this one, so I don't know to attribute that. Probably just because it was a crappy video, not necessarily the band's fault. But still, it was a good show, good performance, and it's Gore. I'll give it a 7.
7, all right. Okay. So that does it for that portion of Hangar 18. So now we move on to our little anecdotes of concerts, right? So here we go. I'm going to tell you a little story.
All right.
About a man named Jed. This poor mountaineer. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, here's our... Yeah, exactly. And I always thought that what always fucking bothered me about that is he's fucking shooting and like the fucking oil is like right near the surface of the earth. I mean, where the fuck is that happen? You know? You fucking drive in a tent peg and you got a fucking geyser.
He shoots the dirt with like some buckshot and then,
Yeah, right. Oil buckshot. Like, huh? So yeah, I mean, I get it. You're supposed to suspend belief for shows like that, but what the fuck? Anyway, we got way off topic there. So anyway, concert story. I was going to a Megadeth concert, and I was going with a buddy of mine named Lucas, and it was in Dayton. I know that, but I can never get the Dayton venue straight. Anyway, we went there with my buddy Lucas, and his brother, and his brother's friend, his older brother, who we always thought was cool because he had a Mustang.
Ah.
Yeah, he was like the cool guy with the Mustang. So anyway, we go there, and Lucas had floor seats. I had seating seats. His brother also had floor seats. And his brother's like, hey, you want to trade? I was like, yes, I do. So I got floor seats for the price of like the sit-down seats, which I thought was pretty awesome. So we go down there, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but Coal Chamber was the opening band, which is weird.
Okay.
Megadeth and Coal Chamber. That's not a show you typically see, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we're down there and we're in the middle of this. There's like all these Coal Chamber people around us. They're like super gothed out, and they got like like mascara under their eyes. And she's like, "What in the fuck is this?" Right? So there was this guy and this girl. They came up to us and they said, "Hey, if you guys can get us down to this floor, we got backstage passes, right?" So I don't know how they did it, but somehow they did it where like if you carry 2 of your floor passes at the same time, and like walk out with one person and then come back in. Somehow they managed it to where we got both of them in there, and then both of us got back out with our floor passes still, and we also got backstage passes, right? But here's the thing. Yeah, they like somehow like some like kind of con game or something, which we thought was a con game right off the rip. We're like, fuck it, we'll try for backstage passes. We'll try anything, right? So we got out of there and we're like, hey, we got these backstage passes. It's going to be great. We'll go fucking talk to Dave. And we'll be right there with him. We'll have a fucking arm around him, get pictures taken and everything. And no, that's not how it worked out. What we did was we went around the back and we're like, hey, how far back can we go? He's like, oh, you can go up to that point right there. I'm like, okay. So we went back and basically what we saw is like some boxes marked Megadeth and some curtains. That's what the backstage passes got us to see. We couldn't go like way back there where there actually were anything. So like I guess we weren't out anything because we still had the floor passes, but we didn't really gain anything either.
Yeah.
So I mean I don't know if there's like different levels of backstage passes. We definitely didn't have the good ones.
Yeah, well there's the all access pass and then there's the limited access and
yeah, we definitely must have had the limited access because like I said, all we saw were some road crates.
Probably had super limited.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And Dreadwing, go ahead with your super awesome to make up for my shitty concert story. Go ahead.
Sit right back, and I may tell you a tale.
A tale 3 little pigs.
So
is it a Green Jello story?
No, it's not.
Motherfucker, you have me all built up. Go ahead.
But oddly enough, mine does include Coal Chamber.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Went to go see Typo Negative play. One of the times I saw them play this was at the House of Blues in New Orleans, and Coal Chamber was the opening band. And let's see, I was there. It was me and my wife. We weren't married at the time, but and then one of her friends and her husband. And somebody else, another friend of ours. Anyway, so we're all there kind of as a group. I think we drove separately, but we all met there. And Coal Chamber's on, and, they're doing their thing. So while Coal Chamber's playing, me and my wife's friend were doing drinks because we had the others were the designated drivers, excuse me.
So you have to do drinks this morning?
No, just drinks.
Okay, go ahead.
I couldn't get the designated driver out. So we're back and forth with the bar, going back to the bar, getting a drink, come back, watch the band, go back, get another drink, come back. Did that a couple times. Nothing too over the top, just normal drinks, light buzz. Well, at some point between us going to the bar and, of course, when we're at the bar, we're talking to each other and looking at the band and everything. At some point, somebody slipped something in both of our drinks.
Oh, shit.
Because Typo Negative came on, and I remember the opening song, and I remember the final song. We both got sick at exactly the same time, and I spent most of that concert in the bathroom throwing up. And I even threw up out on the floor when the last song was playing, which is the only other song I remembered. And then, of course, I spent the rest of the night on the drive home because we lived like an hour away. So my head was hanging out the window, and I'm having to give directions to my wife as to which exit to take and everything while my head's hanging out the window. It was horrible.
That's awesome.
But, and we didn't know.
I was hoping that story was going to lead into you being like some gimp cinnamon girl down in somebody's dungeon.
No, but we didn't know that somebody had slipped it in both of ours because they disappeared. Like we didn't know. We just thought they left, and then we found out like the next day. No, she got sick too. That's why they left, because she started throwing up and getting sick. So they left. We didn't realize they had left because of that, and then that's when we put two and two together. Oh shit! Somebody put something in our drinks.
Yeah, they're probably trying to get her, and you just got kind of like the friendly fire.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
So, wow, fuck. All right, that's kind of crazy. All right, so anyway, I think that about wraps it up for this edition of Hangar 18. And as you know, it's impossible to break these walls, for you see the steel is much too fucking strong. Anyway, I'd like to thank my partner in heavy metal crime, Dreadwind.
Always a pleasure.
And just until next week, which we're going to probably do a review of Metallica's new album. I haven't even really heard that many songs from yet, so it may fucking suck. You never know. Anyway.
Yeah, I think I've only heard maybe 2 or 3 so far. So.
Yeah, I think I've heard 1. So anyway, horns up, and see you next time.